everyone, it's Pepsi back here in Roblox Wild Horse Islands. I am super excited because today is the release of the Donkeys and Mules update. We just got the update drop into the game, so in this video I will be doing a complete, total, full overview of the update, going over all the information, additions, and changes that are included in this update. If you want to skip to a specific section, there are timestamps in the video description down below, as well as the video bar down below if you want to go to a specific portion of the video. And let's get started. Before I get into the overview itself, I always show the update / change logs. So in the game, if you go to any update board, and right now they already have the summer carnival countdown, but you will see the last update if you click on it. Again, this was update number 77, the Donkeys, Mammoth, Donkeys, Mules, and Hinnies update. So you can either pause to read it in this video or go visit these signs yourself in game. I will be going over all this information in this video as well. So this is really just if you want to read it for yourself, if you're more of a visual person. They also have a full update log with even more information on the official Happy Acres Discord server. So I am showing that update log there. There is so much information that the text is quite small and split up into 3 sections this time. So I do apologize. But again, I will be going over all of this in this video. Let's get started with everything that is included in this update. Let's get started going over all the new animals that have been added and included in this update. First, to begin with, I'm going to be going over the standard donkeys. So standard donkeys in the game in terms of breed rarity are considered a rare breed. So they're somewhat in the middle in terms of finding them. They're not super common, but they're not super rare to find. And you can find standard donkeys anywhere on any of the 9 main islands in the game to capture them for your collection log. And you can also find standard donkeys in Hogan's Horse Shop or from trading with other players or in player markets as well. Those will not count towards your collection log. In terms of capturing standard donkeys in the wild, they do have an increased spawn chance on mountain islands specifically. So if you're trying to hunt for a specific coat or trying to find standard donkeys in general, I highly recommend Mountain Island. In your collection log, you will also see a new category. So if you go into quests and goals and go into your collection log, under the wild captures tab, you now have the standard donkeys category, and you can see there is 8 new coats to find in the wild. You can also click to view their additional information as well as the stats information for each and every coat as well. They're all the same, but I will be referencing these. If you collect all 8 coats in the wild to complete this portion of your capture log, you will get a reward. So if you click on the rewards button, you can see you will receive the Galaxy Coat standard donkey, like the Galaxy Coats for every other breed in the game. So this is what that looks like if you are trying to capture all the coats. This is what you will receive. And again, these are not tradable and they're unbreedable. You also cannot sell them. So starting with the stats for the standard donkeys, in terms of height ranges, they can be found between 9.3 hands high as their minimum height, and their maximum height is 13.1 hands high. Their average height that you'll usually find them is 11.2 hands high, which is what you will see on these stat cards in the collection log, since they usually just show the average over here. And for their OG stats or their maximum stats, you will also see these in the collection log. So any coat, no matter what you pick, even the Galaxy coat, if you click on that, will show you their OG stats. So the OG stats for any standard donkey, meaning their maximum stats you can find them at, is 50 for speed, 85 for stamina, 90 for strength, 60 for jump, 75 for agility. So those are the stats for standard donkeys. And going over, last but not least, the 8 coats that are able to be found. You can see them in your collection log. It'll show you a brief overview if you click on each one, but these are in order of increasing rarity. So the more common coats will be first to the rarest coats at the end. So starting off, we have the gray dun coat, and next we have the black coat. Then we have the brown dun coat, the dark brown dun spotted coat, the white coat, the light gray dun spotted coat, the black spotted coat, and lastly, we have the light sorrel dun coat. This is an island unique coat, and it can only be found on Lunar Island. So that is super exciting as well. That is all the information for standard donkeys. Next, we have the mammoth donkeys. The mammoth donkeys are considered in terms of breed rarity as an epic rarity breed. And just like standard donkeys, they can also be found anywhere on the 9 main islands in the wild to capture, and those are counted towards your collection log. But they can also be obtained either in player shops, Hogan's Horse Shop for tokens, or by trading with other players. Those 3 methods will not count towards your collection log. So like any other breed, the only way to count towards your collection log is through wild captures. And like standard donkeys, mammoth donkeys also have an increased wild spawn chance on Mountain Island as well. So if you are trying to get mammoth donkeys, try on Mountain Island. In your collection log, you will see the mammoth donkeys as a new category underneath the wild captures tab, just like the standard donkeys. And you will see that there is 7 new coats here as well, including an island unique coat. If you collect all 7 coats, you will get a reward. Clicking on rewards, you can see that galaxy coat mammoth donkey right over here. So this is what you will receive as your reward for completing that collection log. Again, keep in mind these are not tradable, they're not breedable, and you cannot sell them. The galaxy coats, I mean. So for the stats of the mammoth donkeys, in terms of height, we start with the minimum height for mammoth donkeys at 14.3 hands high. Their maximum height goes up to 18.1 hands high. And on average, the standard height is 16.2 hands high, which is what you see right over here. So those are the height ranges. For OG stats, or the max stats for this breed, or for mammoth donkeys, are 55 for speed, 90 for stamina, 95 for strength, 60 for jump, and 75 for agility. So that is your OG stats if you are trying to get those. And again, all the coats are listed here. There are 7. I will be going over them, and they are listed in order of increasing rarity. So starting with the most common and moving on to the most rare. So first we have the black coat, the brown coat, the black coat that has no light points, the dark brown coat which is masked, the blue roan coat, then we have the light brown spotted coat, and last but not least, the red roan coat, which is an island unique coat to Royal Island. So that is all the information on the mammoth donkeys. Lastly, we have the addition of mules and hinnies. There are a ton of information on this, so let me go over everything. Mules and hinnies cannot be found in the wild. They cannot be captured at all. They can only be obtained through breeding, and you have to breed a donkey and a horse together to get mules or hinnies. If you want to obtain a mule specifically, you need to breed a female horse with a male donkey. And if you want to obtain a hinny specifically, you need to breed a male horse with a female donkey. And you need to use certain combinations of horses and donkey coats when breeding if you want to get one of the mule and hinny unique coats. So let me show you these in their collection log. For mules and hinnies, they are actually under special animals and mules and hinnies as the category. It is under the special animals tag because these are bred. They are not found in the wild, so they are not under wild captures. Instead, they are bred only. So you can see all 11 potential mule or hinny unique coats over here. And once you are able to find a certain combination, there are some hints. If you click on each of the coats, it'll tell you, for example, this one, the parents must be a mix of red and cream colored coats. So you'll have some instructions or hints for each coat. There is no specific instructions. Again, some of these, I like to call them hints, but you can figure out how to get each of these coats from this little sentence under the collection log. And hopefully that helps you guys if you're trying to obtain these. If you bred one of these coats successfully, you can tell because the stack card will show a new tag. This tag is called the hybrid unique coat tag, and it is in bright green. So that is how you can tell from breeding if you got a hybrid unique coat, one of these mule or hinny coats. And specifically two of them, these two, the red dun coat and the bay dun coat, you have a 1 out of 10 chance when you're breeding these coats for them to be bred with a special fade hair color. These are the bay dun fade or the red dun fade. So these are only applicable to these two coats. Again, whenever you breed them, you have a 1 out of 10 chance of them having that fade hair color specifically, which is really cool. For mules and hinnies, you also are able to obtain most breeding unique coats on mules and hinnies. If there is a donkey coat, either a mammoth donkey or a standard donkey coat, that has a pairing to get a breeding unique coat, then you can get that in a mule or hinny. Because again, you have to breed a donkey with a regular horse to get any of these mules or hinnies to begin with. And keep in mind when breeding mules and hinnies, they are 2.5 times more expensive than breeding regular horses. So it is over double the price of regular breeding. It is quite expensive to breed these. Most of these mules and hinnies are almost identical, but hinnies are 10% smaller than mules, and you'll see that in the stats. So, for the mule height stats, you have the minimum is 14 hands high, and the maximum is 17.2 hands high. The average is 15.3 hands high. Whereas if you have a hinny, the minimum is 12.2 hands high, the maximum is 15.3 hands high, and the average for hinnies is 14.1 hands high. So that is one of the differences, but their max stats or their OG stats, whatever you want to call it, is the same for both mules and hinnies. So no matter whether you have a mule or hinny, their OG stats potentially are 60 for speed, 90 for stamina, 100 for strength, 65 for jump, and 80 for agility. So those are the OG stats for mules or hinnies. And since these mules and hinnies cannot be found in the wild, they aren't in wild captures like I mentioned, but they still do have a galaxy reward. This is the one exception for the specials animal category, where they do have a galaxy horse as a reward for getting all the coats. So this is what the galaxy coat looks on the mule or hinny. If you are able to breed and obtain all of the coats, and it does say like hybrid animal. Again, these are untradeable, unbreedable, and you cannot sell them either. But yes. And that is it for the mules and hinnies. Moving on to the couple miscellaneous changes and additions we have included in this update. We have a change to the Fjord horse breed. So Fjords had an adjustment to their stats. If you go into the collection log or if you check your inventory, you will notice that Fjords have slightly different numbers for their strength stat specifically. So previously their strength went from 15 as their minimum to 95 as their maximum. And the change altered these numbers from 25 as their minimum to 90 as their maximum. So I believe it affected the ones you had in your inventory. At least for me, I don't see anything above a 90. I don't see anything from a 90 to 95. And I don't see anything lower than a 25, so I think it affected the horses you have, I believe, but it's just the number. It didn't actually affect like the ability. And what trick the developer said for this change is this is a minor balancing adjustment to ensure that the mammoth and standard donkey stats are an accurate representation of their abilities. Because if you notice, the standard donkeys and the mammoth donkeys have quite a bit of strength, so that is why this adjustment was made numerically to the fjords, so it is more accurate of a comparison. So the last miscellaneous change of this update is that we have 3 new hair dyes at Sweetie's dye shop that are available for tokens. We have, let me talk to Sweetie right over here. If you click, can I see your dyes? Yes, they are all at the bottom. We have the Sorrel Fade hair dye, which is supposed to go with the light Sorrel dun coat for standard donkeys. We have the Bay Dun Fade hair dye, which is supposed to go with the Bay Dun Mule and Hinny coat, and we have the Red Dun Fade dye, which is supposed to go with the Red Dun Mule and Hinny coat. So you can see these over here. The Sorrel Fade hair dye is 1,200 tokens, the Bay Dun Fade hair dye is 1,200 tokens, and the Red Dun Fade hair dye is 1,200 tokens. So these 3 are new additions, and they do match with specific coats. And they are available in Sweetie's dye shop. Again, these are not a premium dye, so it is for tokens. Alright, that is it for today's video. That is absolutely everything you need to know about update number 77, the Donkeys and Mules update in the game. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below and I'll try to answer them if I can, hopefully. Or if you guys have any answers from playing this update so far. And also let me know down below, how do you feel about this update? How do you feel about the donkeys and mules? Are you working towards the galaxy coat? How do you feel about some of the other changes in the game? Are you trying to find donkey IUHs? If so, I wish you luck, and I will see you all in my next video or live stream. Bye everyone!